I'm like pulling back. I'm like, no, come on, let's go. You just got swindled out of $35. Let's go. And she's pulling, I'm pulling. It's a tug of war situation. Hello, Peepzillas, and welcome back to my channel. So I have to say that I've been to New York many times before, and none of those trips even came close to the craziness that went on with this most recent trip that I had a couple weeks ago. Well, besides the trip where it was like 100 degrees out, I thought it'd be a great idea to wear jeans. I was sweltering hot, really thought I was gonna pass out. So we went into the first food place we could find that offered AC because we're like, yes, anything to get out of the heat. And it turned out the pizza was like $100. So was it worth it? I'll let you decide that one. So I went to New York a couple weeks ago and it was hot. It was like mid-90s, but I learned my lesson and I wore shorts, tank top, and you know, I took it like a champ. And the person I went with, I was like, okay, you're gonna want to wear shorts, just a piece of advice. And they're like, no, pants, jeans are fine. Like, it's what I'm comfortable in. I'm like, no, trust me. Gonna want to wear shorts. Lesson learned. So I'm gonna just put it right out there. This trip was interesting. Now, if you go to New York and you think you are going to be seeing all the sights, Times Square, Central Park, Macy's, Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center, you're wrong. That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what you are gonna be doing. You are going to be doing a ton of walking. Don't believe me? I think I spent 90% of the trip just walking from one destination to the other. I mean, yeah, you could have taken the subway, but oof, anyone that's ever taken the subway, try figuring that out. You need to have like a degree in rocket science to figure out the New York subway system, let me tell you. So it's easier to walk. Let me tell you, first of all, when you're walking, that also comes with its own troubles because like every 2 feet you have to stop at a stop block, which gets really annoying when you need to walk like 70 blocks. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I think the most blocks I walked was like 40. Even that's still a lot. But yeah, so like from here to like the other side of my room is legit like a block. And then you have to stop. And then it's like every man for themselves trying to cross the street. You're almost getting hit by cars. And it's just a really good, fun time because nobody gives a crap. And they're just whatever. So 90% of the trip was walking. I think the only things we actually did with there was Times Square for like a half hour, the New York Public Library, and Central Park. And that was it. And then it was time to go. And we were there for like 10 hours. Because the rest was just walking. Right? If you don't believe me, I did like 35,000 steps that day. We walked 23 kilometers. No, I lied. We walked 25 kilometers, which is not the same as miles, by the way. And I burned over 1,000 calories just walking. That is insane. So yes, there is a crap ton of walking. Another thing you should be on the lookout if you ever plan on going to New York is people really want you to buy their CDs and their other crap. They will harass you to no end. I'm not even kidding you. So I have a fun little story about that. So I might look like a sucker, like, oh, look at this girl, like, she's so shy and quiet or whatever. We could totally take her in. When it comes to trying to be panhandled and all that other stuff, I have none of it. Turn into the rudest person ever. So the person I went with, we were fine on our own. We just kept walking like, no thanks, we don't want any of your CDs. Then we split up for like a couple minutes. I'm like, I'm just gonna chill over there. You need to go do something, it's fine. I was completely fine on my own. I handled myself like a big girl. Nobody bothered me. Whatever. Well, they came back and they looked pissed. And I'm like, what's the matter? And they're like, yeah, I just got swindled out of $35. I'm like, how did that happen? And they're like, well, you see, first I was walking and then this guy came up to me and was like, represent, like Bank B or something. Buy my CD, it's free. I wouldn't lie about that. It's free, I wouldn't lie. And they're like, okay, all right, okay, for sure, I'll take your CD. That was a big mistake. because then they're like, well, you want to give a donation to support the cause? And like, I guess so. So he takes out his wallet, which was his first mistake. Well, like his eighth. His first mistake was leaving me. His second mistake was giving this guy the time of day. Third mistake was taking the CD. Fourth was taking out his wallet and showing all his money. Because the guy was like, oh, 20. I'm just going to help myself to that. You know, there was like a $5 right there, but of course they're going to take the $20. So it's like, really? So then this other guy, seeing him getting swindled, goes over and is like, yeah, I have a CD too. Support my cause as well. And then that was another $15 out the window. And then a third guy comes over and was like, yo, what the hell? You're giving them money? Like, you gotta give me money too. And then by then he like just walks away. He's like, no, peace out. And they're like, if I find you, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, all that other stuff. And it's like, whoa. So that got intense for a minute there. So watch out for people that are trying to sell your CDs. And you know what the really funny thing was? Because when we were first walking, he was like, watch out for those people trying to sell you CDs. Nothing is free. Like, don't even look at them. And then he ends up getting swindled. Like, lecture me, and you get swindled. Then we go to Central Park, and there's this lady giving out massages. And she legit, like, grabs onto his shoulder and pulls him. She's like, come on, massage. And I'm like, pulling back. I'm like, no, come on, let's go. You just got swindled out $35. Let's go. And she's pulling, I'm pulling. It's a tug-of-war situation because I don't mess around when it comes to that. So eventually I went out because I can hold my own. Then we go back to the bus station. And it's a little tricky trying to figure out what gate we need to be at because for some reason our destination is the only one not listed. Yeah. And then this random guy comes out of the woodwork and it was like, oh, where do you need to go? I got you. Come here. And he's like taking us to the gate and all that. And at the very end, he's like, so you gonna tip me? Or like, okay, like you don't even work here, but sure. So when everything was said and done, like we totally got swindled out of $40, but had it been up to me, it would have maybe been like $1. Maybe I would have tipped that one guy feeling guilty, but whatever. And to top it all off, we didn't even get to ride home on the bus ride. Like, we had to get separated. And then I wound up next to this guy who was snoring and, like, could not have looked any less pleased to be sitting next to me. I'm, like, totally curled up to him. So he only said one thing to me, and it was like, can you wake me up when we reach our stop? It's like, okay, you're going to act like a jerk to me. Now you want me to do you a favor? Like, screw off. Now for the only part you actually probably care about, which is probably the reason why you clicked on this video, which is like the police chase thing. So here we are in Times Square, I don't know, probably playing around with a selfie stick, who knows, like, look at all the lights, isn't it pretty? It's like, yeah, they're just like a bunch of like big TVs, like playing advertisements anywhere. You think that's fascinating? But anyways, so we're like, look at all the lights, and then I'm looking at my phone or doing something, and I see this guy, like, no, I feel this guy go racing by, and he like knocks into the person that I'm with and like steps on his foot. And at first I think this guy is just being cool, just being like a little like hooligan and like, oh, I'm just gonna jump the post and be cool and all that. No, he was running away from the cops. And then, but I didn't realize that until these two policemen go whizzing by and they're yelling out to all the pedestrians and they're like, stop him! Stop him! And we're like, of course nobody's stopping him. We're just like all too scared and, you know, rubbernecking and all that stuff. And I don't know what happens. Next thing I know, like, I see the guy flat down on the middle of the street in handcuffs, like a big crowd is around him. We're like, oh, what did he do? And they haul him away. And then you walk down like another 2 blocks and you see a whole bunch of police cars and policemen swarmed around like this really nice car. I don't even know what kind of car it was. Really nice. It was like shiny yellow metallic, and you could tell it was worth quite a bit of money. And it was just like parked diagonally in the street. The doors like wide open and there's nobody in there. So I'm guessing this guy maybe like stole the car and then like fled or something happened. But it was super interesting. And then the next day in Times Square, I guess this guy like drove into a crowd of pedestrians, which is really scary. I'm glad we weren't there on that day, but yeah, so Times Square, always interesting. And there's also people trying to swindle you there as well. They're dressed up like characters and they're like, just give me a little bit of money, take a picture. And I'm like, no, you don't even look like the real thing, so no. But yeah, New York, man, it's expensive. There's craziness. People rip you off. And can we just talk about the M&M store for a second? All right, we got a bag of M&Ms, like that big. Like, you know, probably about the same, maybe a little bit less or more than you get at the store. $24 I paid for that. $24. Talk about really hiking up the price. I mean, you know, like water is like $4 or something like that. Whatever, I can understand that. You know, it's a tourist location, whatever. But $24 for a tiny bag of M&Ms, which is probably the exact same thing you can get at the drugstore. That's insane. I almost said ridiculous. That's insane. I could seriously buy the same bag of caramel M&Ms, but it's special because it's from the M&M store in New York, so that means I have to have it. I mean, $24 is totally worth it just so you can make a mix of your own M&Ms. I mean, like, seriously, like, you could go to the drugstore, buy, like, a buy one, get one free of, like, peanuts and then M&Ms, and there you go, there's your mix. But no, I had to pay $24 to get a mix. And a word of advice, if you choose to get suckered in like I did, don't do the mint M&Ms in your mix because then they will all end up tasting like mint. And then you'll really be pissed because you're like, I could have just gotten a bag of mint M&Ms for $2 and called it a day. So yeah, New York, man, it really like swindles you out of a lot of money. $24 M&Ms, $100 pizza, panhandlers all over trying to get you to buy their Bank B CD. That was like the name of the guy. Bank B! We listened to his CD and it was like, okay, buddy. Yeah, buddy, stick to selling your CD on the street. Just in case you think I'm lying, here you go, here's proof. M&M World blanket. Because I, yet again, got suckered in. They're like, for just $5 more, you can get this blanket. I mean, you could get this exact same fleece blanket. Like, not the pattern, but you could get this exact same kind of fleece blanket at the supermarket for like $5 around the holidays. Because I know, I've gotten it before for that much, but whatever, you know, whatever. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I like to tell stories, because I like to talk. And I like to do other things on my channel too. I like to do challenges. I like to do skits. I like to do anything and everything. Okay. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bank B. Represent.